Tesla has laid off about 10% of its workers, which is forcing one California man to go from working at Tesla to living in one.
April 15, 2024, Tesla set off a corporate earthquake announcing nearly 4,000 layoffs overnight, and the ripple hit hard across California's already shaky economy. The company called it restructuring, but the speed and scale had people asking serious questions. How does America's top electric car giant slash that many roles so fast? As high-level executives quietly stepped away and more job losses stacked up, state leaders appeared stuck on the sidelines, watching it unfold in real time. The Warren filings dropped with sharp precision.
On my way to work, and then I got a personal email about my position had been eliminated.
3,933 permanent positions eliminated across California, scheduled in 2 waves on June 14th and June 20th, 2024. Fremont, Tesla's crown jewel and one of the most productive auto plants in the country, took the biggest hit with 2,644 roles cut.
Went to the turnstile, and then it didn't work. And it turned red, started beeping, and I was like, is this real?
Palo Alto's engineering hub saw 709 positions disappear. Lathrop's logistics and battery teams lost 515 spots. Even Burbank's small but active saw 64 roles wiped out. The message was clear. No corner of the operation was untouchable. This wasn't just trimming around the edges. Engineers, technicians, trainers, and support staff were all part of one sweeping corporate reset. The financial shock was just as intense. Tesla allocated $583 million in termination-related costs, a number revealed in regulatory filings that had analysts quickly reworking forecasts and reassessing the company's near-term outlook. These weren't temporary pauses or seasonal slowdowns. Every role cut was permanent, and without union backing in place, employees had little cushion against the impact. The announcement didn't land alone. It came with major leadership changes that turned heads fast. Within hours, reports confirmed that 2 high-profile executives were stepping away from the company. Drew Baglino, a longtime vice president who oversaw Tesla's battery and powertrain engineering, submitted his resignation. After 18 years, his technical leadership had played a major role in shaping Tesla's manufacturing advantage, from the early Model S production lines to the company's latest battery developments. Rohan Patel, Director of Public Policy and Business Development, also exited. Patel had served as Tesla's key link to lawmakers and regulators, helping guide the company through incentive programs, emissions credit discussions, and the evolving rules of the electric vehicle market. His departure added another layer of uncertainty at a time when policy and regulation remained critical to the industry's direction. Taken together, the leadership exits and widespread layoffs pointed to something bigger: a significant internal reset at Tesla. The timing felt abrupt. Some employees received notification emails while commuting. Others discovered access changes upon arriving at work. The speed of the rollout left many processing the news in real time, with little warning and even less clarity. Tesla's official statement emphasized cost reductions and improved efficiency, echoing Elon Musk's message to staff. "I hate having to do this, but it's necessary to ensure the long-term success of the company." Even after the initial shock passed, the numbers stood out. Nearly 4,000 roles eliminated in the state that helped fuel Tesla's growth, and 2 of its most visible leaders stepping away at the very same moment. The immediate impact spread fast, from office spaces to assembly floors to executive suites, leaving California's industrial core on edge about what might come next. When a company the size of Tesla makes a move like this, the effects rarely stop at the factory gates. The reduction of nearly 4,000 roles triggered a wider reaction that reached well beyond Fremont, Palo Alto, and Lathrop, sending signals across the state's manufacturing landscape. Industry economic models estimate that every direct manufacturing job supports at least half a position elsewhere. Through suppliers, logistics providers, contractors, and the small businesses powered by employee spending, by that measure, Tesla's workforce reduction could influence as many as 6,000 additional roles statewide. One Bay Area supply chain executive speaking anonymously described the shift as a slow bleed. Orders reportedly slowed almost overnight. Trucking companies adjusted schedules. Small machine shops, some with decades-long relationships tied to the Fremont facility, paused hiring plans and delayed equipment investments. As one supplier put it, when Tesla pulls back, it's not just us, it's our vendors, our technicians, even the lunch spots down the street that feel it. Tesla's supplier footprint in California is extensive. More than 2,650 Tier 1 companies with an estimated $1.6 to $2 billion flowing to local firms each year. While some of these partners are major global corporations, many are family-run businesses or mid-sized manufacturers that rely on steady contracts to maintain stability. When demand shifts at the top, pressure builds throughout the chain. This development also lands during a broader transition for the state's manufacturing sector. Since August 2022, California has seen a reported decline of roughly 90,000 manufacturing positions, about a 2.9% decrease. Analysts note that the pace of change has added strain to communities already adapting to shifts in production, automation, and market demand. In that context, Tesla's decision carries weight far beyond a single company headline. California's Employment Development Department reports that since 2000, nearly 615,000 manufacturing roles have phased out statewide, the largest total shift of any state in the country. Each facility closure, whether it's a food processor in the Central Valley or a plastics operation in the Inland Empire, adds to a steady wave of uncertainty that communities continue to navigate. Recent departures involving companies such as Leprino Foods, Dark Container, and Anheuser-Busch have intensified that concern. While each situation has its own factors, the broader pattern has raised questions about long-term industrial stability. The impact stretches beyond factory floors. In Fremont, officials have projected a potential 50% decline in sales tax revenue from the commercial zones surrounding the Tesla plant, a change that could delay infrastructure upgrades and adjustments to city services if projections hold true. Local housing markets are also feeling the pressure. Property owners near major manufacturing hubs, already operating in one of the nation's most expensive housing environments, are now watching home values level off. For some residents, it has prompted difficult conversations about whether to stay or explore other options. Beneath the headlines, the issue goes beyond one automaker's restructuring. It reflects a broader challenge as California works to maintain its industrial foundation in a shifting economic climate. Behind every direct manufacturing role that disappears, related positions in support services, supply networks, and local commerce may also adjust quietly. Energy costs remain part of the equation. Large industrial users in California pay an average of 28.32 cents per kilowatt hour, significantly higher than states like Texas, where comparable rates are closer to 9 cents. For manufacturers balancing tight margins, those numbers carry serious weight. For a large facility like Tesla's Fremont plant, the energy cost gap alone can translate into millions of dollars in additional annual expenses. Renewable energy requirements and wildfire mitigation charges, which are built into utility rates, have contributed to higher operating costs across the state. For manufacturers running around the clock, even small differences per kilowatt hour quickly scale into major budget items. Labor expenses add another layer to the equation. The average hourly wage for manufacturing roles in California is about $16.90 per hour, above the national average and significantly higher than states like Texas, where the minimum wage is $7.25. Employment regulations, including laws such as AB 5, have also reshaped workforce structures by requiring some independent contractors to be reclassified as employees. Analysts estimate that compliance changes have increased payroll-related costs for certain businesses by 20 to 30%. When companies calculate total compensation, benefits, and regulatory requirements, each dollar allocated in California can stretch less than it might in neighboring states with lower labor costs and simpler employment frameworks. Tax policy is another factor frequently cited in business evaluations. California's top personal income tax rate is 14.4%, and the corporate tax rate stands at 8.84%. Texas, by comparison, does not levy a state income tax and applies a 0.75% margin tax on businesses. National business climate rankings often place California near the bottom tier, while Texas ranks considerably higher. At the same time, California's state budget is projected to face a deficit estimated between $55 billion and $68 billion for the 2024 to 2025 fiscal year, marking several consecutive years of shortfalls. Reports also indicate that approximately 27,000 higher income taxpayers have relocated, representing an estimated $29 billion in annual taxable income. Meanwhile, overall net migration into the state remains positive, exceeding 200,000 people. For companies evaluating long-term investments, these financial indicators become part of a broader strategic calculation. One state economist described the current environment as a stack of compounding pressures. In this view, nearly every major cost category, energy, wages, taxes, and regulatory compliance, trends higher in California. For manufacturers, regardless of size or legacy, that combination can be difficult to balance. As a result, states like Texas, Nevada, and Arizona have reshaped their recruitment strategies to position themselves as competitive alternatives. In Texas, the JETI program offers property tax abatements that can range from 50 to 100% for companies that commit to major investments in job creation. Nevada promotes reduced business taxes and lower property and equipment tax rates for new facilities. Arizona highlights its 2.5% flat income tax, among the lowest in the country, along with a corporate tax rate under 5%. Supporters argued that these policies create a clearer and more predictable cost structure for incoming firms. By comparison, California's incentive packages are often described as more limited in scale. Some policy analysts note that tax credits tied to job creation typically represent a smaller share of total operating costs than those offered by competitor states. Data frequently cited in public discussion shows that since 2018, Texas has attracted 114 of 265 reported company relocations from California. According to one Sacramento-based analyst, their incentive packages are simply more aggressive and they come with fewer strings attached. For Tesla, these differences are not theoretical. The company's Austin Gigafactory secured a full property tax abatement projected to be worth hundreds of millions of dollars over a 10-year period. In California, Tesla has benefited from regulatory credit programs, reporting approximately $2.76 billion in revenue tied to zero-emission vehicle initiatives. However, as more automakers expand their electric vehicle production, the value of such credits may evolve over time. Within state leadership circles, these shifting dynamics remain part of an ongoing economic strategy conversation. Options appear increasingly narrow. Adjusting electricity rates would require a major restructuring of the state's energy framework. Revisiting wage policy or corporate tax levels often meets firm opposition from labor organizations and lawmakers. Efforts to simplify regulatory systems can encounter long-standing institutional resistance. Each potential solution carries trade-offs, and progress in one area frequently slows in another, leaving limited room for rapid maneuvering. Forecasts from the Bureau of Labor Statistics project that California's manufacturing employment may continue trending downward through 2033, while states such as Texas, Utah, and Arizona anticipate measurable growth during the same period. Although Tesla's Fremont facility remains operational, broader employment patterns suggest that expansion momentum is concentrating elsewhere. For policymakers reviewing these projections, the numbers outline a clear competitive challenge. As other states promote aggressive incentive packages and streamlined approval processes, California continues to operate within a more complex cost structure. Analysts often point to structural expenses, energy pricing, taxation levels, compliance frameworks as persistent variables shaping long-term investment decisions. When the cost differential widens, companies reassess where future facilities, equipment upgrades, and workforce expansions will be located. The implications extend beyond corporate balance sheets. Manufacturing supports interconnected supply chains, municipal revenue streams, and regional economic stability. Shifts in this sector influence housing markets, small businesses, and workforce development pipelines. Economists describe the current moment as structural rather than cyclical, driven by policy design and cost alignment rather than temporary downturns. If long-term competitiveness remains unaddressed, California risks seeing its industrial base gradually repositioned elsewhere. The outcome is not predetermined, but the trajectory will depend on how state leaders balance environmental goals, fiscal realities, and business incentives in the years ahead. The next chapter will be shaped by strategic choices made now,